Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Ostranauts. This is going to be episode 52. So without further ado, let's begin. Yeah, so last episode I tried to just kind of shuffle through and get myself a deuterium tank. Ended up not doing that very successfully, mostly because we spent like, what, 6-8 hours on K-Leg just skipping time and got nothing. So I think I'm gonna. Yeah, we ended up heading back out as a result. There was no real dice on K-Leg. Maybe we'll have better luck next time. Plus, you know, I figure I'll have more to talk about instead of just kind of ranting about art and AI and all sorts of other stuff. Although, to be fair, I also thought, depending on how well this episode goes, interesting. Depending on how this episode goes, perhaps I will have time to actually rant some more about art. Or clean up some of my thoughts. So I considered scripting some of my thoughts on art, but I ended up not doing that. Just kind of got a bit lazy there. And in all honesty, I don't know if I really have that much stuff to necessarily talk about. Alright, let's, hour 19, it's currently 2:18. Could we sleep for an hour? Maybe we could. Maybe we could. You know, I think I might try to see what happens if we sleep for an hour. So it's 2:18 right now. We've got till 3:36-ish. Let's see what happens. My other idea was actually just to clean up my thoughts about art and AI, and you know, so I could rant a little bit better. But I think I'm gonna try doing the sleep thing. Let's see how that goes. So we got 1 hour. I need to roster. Change this to sleep. No. Cancel action. Sleep there. Trying to fall asleep comfortably. And now we will hopefully. Okay, we are asleep. Sleeping comfortably. No risk factors. Alright, go. For 1 hour. One sleeping comfortably. Still weary. Which is less than ideal. I don't think we want to be weary. No. Get up. Get up. Okay, we are at 3:19, so we got about 20 minutes. A little bit less than that. 19 minutes. Get our hat and suit back on. Quick little nap. Something I should probably consider doing in real life. And let's change up our roster a little bit to work. Yeah. Banter breakout. Huh. What I'm not sure what that is, but okay. Anyway. Maybe I'll have a little bit of time to discuss my thoughts on the topic of art and AI some more. Because I promise I tried to think about it at least a little bit to, you know, clean up my thoughts a little bit. Maybe move them to something a little bit more, understandable. So let's sit down here, and then we'll see how it goes. Are we doing? Oh, 36 minutes. Interesting. Something might have, been a little bit off then. Okay. Anyway, oh boy, now we're just spinning way too much, aren't we? Yep, we are. We definitely are. Let's slow time down a little bit. And let's spin in the right direction. There we go. Alright, close enough. Alright, so Yeah, there we go. We can speed up a little bit. Oh, did we like slow down or something? Huh, that's interesting. Oh well. Anyway, so what is art? I guess that's a good place to start because I think everybody has a very different definition of what art is. Now, I consider art to be any kind of expression, really. Some people have a difference between like certain types of aesthetic expression or like certain types of artistic expression, but I think really anything could be any kind of expression could really be considered art. And I think art generally comes from a couple different places, right? So you have art as a form of emotional expression. I think this is common for things like photography or like realistic painting, maybe like some and not even realistic painting because I think the classic impressionism, for example, doesn't seek, or maybe even expressionism, both of them don't really seek realism. They seek to kind of modify what you see and maybe affect your emotional state based on, or like focus on something that is maybe visible to the artist but not necessarily to the viewer of said art. Right, or in some cases it could be a very, very literal expression of beauty, right? So, like photography of a sunset, I think, is a very specific type of art where it's just like, wow, look at this pretty, pretty sunset, pretty colors. Because I'm pretty sure everybody thinks of sunsets as pretty, pretty universally. Um, and sunrises as well, right? You got like all these colors in the clouds, you got like all this crazy stuff going on as the sun's going down. Like, it makes you feel something. And it even works on animals, right? So I think art kind of can be used to communicate with animals to some extent. Like, you've ever seen, there's that one picture, I saw it on Reddit a while back, of just like a bear just chilling there watching the sunset, right? Because, like, bears also feel that to an extent. We don't know how they feel that. And, so I guess there's a little bit of a theory of mind mixed in there, right? So like, or I don't know if any of you, if you've ever seen, like, they make TV specifically for dogs and for cats, where like it's basically for, I guess, cat TV is just like birds flying around, or like they even tried making music for cats, which is very, kind of sounds like a bunch of meows. Um, sort of, not quite. It's very like it's hard to describe, but it kind of sounds vaguely meow-like. Just like the pitch changes, the way it works, and it's supposed to be music for cats that relaxes cats. And I'm sure that in some way, when a cat listens to that, or when you watch a cat listen to it, you can see like cats expressing contentment, maybe, or like they stop expressing stress uh, ideas, stress, not ideas, stress actions, I guess. I don't know, like, however cats express stress. Um, and I think that is also a form of art, but it's not quite the same as with people, right? So, art for people is a lot more varied, right? Because it doesn't necessarily, you have a better idea of what a person is thinking, right? We have a clearer theory of mind when it comes to people. You can kind of infer how things will go based on your own experiences, just because, like, ultimately, we are all very similar. Our brains all fundamentally work in a very similar way compared to, like, the difference between a cat brain and a human brain. They're very different, right? Like, cats are gonna be much more focused on cat stuff, like catching mice. I don't know, other like that kind of thing. And as a result of that, it's hard to make art for cats that isn't just basic stimulus response type stuff. And I do think that a good chunk of human art comes down to kind of stimulus response type stuff as well, right? So like I would argue that rage bait is a form of art of sorts, and it's becoming more and more common, right? Because obviously, content. This idea of content, which I don't. While I was thinking about what I wanted to say on this topic, I started to dislike the word content a little bit. Content implies that there is no that it's just stuff, right? This is just nothing else. But the fact is that I am making these videos partly for my own entertainment, right? Partly because I enjoy thinking about this type of thing and maybe I'm talking about it, and partly because, well, maybe you guys will learn something. And I consider that to be a form of art as well, because you end up well, it's a way of sharing ideas, right? So I guess I looked it up on Wikipedia. What's the definition of art on Wikipedia? Let me pull it up again. Diverse range of cultural activities centered around works utilizing creative or imaginative talents which are expected to evoke a worthwhile experience, generally through an expression of emotional power, conceptual ideas, beauty, and or technical proficiency. So in this case, I have no technical proficiency in this game. Beauty is irrelevant because I'm not putting face cam up there, and Sylvester Sandoval here ain't exactly pretty. Emotional power, I mean, if I'm triggering your emotions, cool. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But, definitely, I guess I'm seeking to trigger your conceptual ideas a little bit. Because, I don't know, I think it's something, it's like a little thought experiment. Anyway, so, based on that, if we look at any form of expression as art, any form of expression designed to create some kind of emotion as art, then it's harder to express how AI generated art is art. Like, sure, to some extent, some people might think it's art because they're the prompt engineer or prompt artist. And the thing is, okay, if you want to call yourself that, that's fine. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with it. It does, I guess it's kind of like an interpretation, right? Kind of like a gatekeeping. Or I guess bridge building would be more accurate. Would be a more accurate term. But anyway, the AI itself doesn't really... I guess the closest that AI art could get to art is similar to what happens when we make art for cats. Right, like pet TV. Because I can make a much more accurate assumption of what the theory of mind is for a person compared to what the theory of mind is for a cat. Now I can make guesses as to what a cat might like, and based on, again, stimulus response, I can kinda focus on what a cat's gonna like. It's not gonna be nearly as detailed as what a person likes, though, right? So I'm probably gonna end up focusing on simple stimuli, simple responses. Whereas, when it comes to art that's more person-focused, I can make something that is not more subtle, I guess, right? So it doesn't have to necessarily be focused on making someone happy or sad or angry. It doesn't have to be a simple emotion. It can be something more complicated. It could be more varied even, right? So we talk about art, and I've been kind of talking about paintings indirectly here, but I'm also thinking about, or I guess also talking, right? Right now I'm sharing ideas, but at the same time I think M&M's Without Me is absolutely a work of art. Not even so much because it's so, it doesn't necessarily, the song itself doesn't necessarily carry a lot of deep thoughts, deep ideas, but the way that it's constructed, right? It's a technical it's a technical skill when it comes to language. It's like how some types of poetry really focus on rhyme. Um, but Eminem takes it a bit deeper. It's like that very first verse when he's talking about. Oh yeah, looks like no meat. Life is good. Heck yeah. All right, so it's like when he's in that first verse when he's like, oh, some vodka gonna jumpstart my heart when I'm quicker than the shock. When I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating. You waited this long. Now stop debating, because I'm back. I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your heart problem's complicating, right? I'm sure there's some meaning. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's got a lot of deep meaning there. But it sounds really good because Eminem has a very deep understanding of language and, like, in this particular case, assonance, which is basically like, sort of like rhyme, but not quite. It's just repeated vowel sounds. Oh, nav station, hello. Let's go restore that and take it. I feel like I'm gonna scrap this entire ship. Down to the nuts and bolts. Yeah. I don't know about that, actually. I'm probably gonna grab that nav station. Probably don't need any of this junk. What do we got here? Walls, floors, maybe a thruster. I guess we do have a pump. Oh, toucan, couple more pumps here, as I recall. Turbo. I didn't see a can under there. Is there a can under there? No. Is there a can under here? I guess not. Oh, there is a nitrogen can. It's nearly empty. Whatever. Let's just grab this nav console and go. So anyway, the verse sounds good because of that repeated O sound, right? Cooperating, doctor, rocking, long, stop, ovulating. It's all these O sounds, extended O sounds, repeated in a rhythmic way. It's almost like bouncy, right? It's hard to not get into the groove of saying the words in a specific way when you say the lyrics, just because it sounds better that way. And another form, in some cases, art could just be like not even intended expression. It might just be expression, period, right? So I think in some cases you've got situations where somebody is not able to effectively express themselves in a way that is commonly accepted, and so they express themselves in a different way in an artistic manner, I guess. And I think that's where you get that whole idea of the tortured artist, right? Somebody that might not be able to function perfectly well in the society in which they exist, and they express their displeasure with that situation or whatever with through art, or they find a way to express themselves, and we consider that to be art. I assume that, like, some people, it's probably again, I'm talking out of my ass on a lot of these topics, but like you hear about like non-verbal autistic children that are like math geniuses, right? And it's like yeah, they're not talking even though they're 4 years old, but you put like algebra in front of them, they're solving at a high school level, right? And that's just how they're expressing themselves. And it becomes important to understand how that expression goes, because then if you can speak to them on their level, they're probably obviously you're gonna have a better time communicating. Let's see, your nav console is probably really the only part that's worth grabbing out of there. Maybe the turbos. Nah. Let's just keep going to the next place. Kind of head Yeah, maybe have a little bit more luck with the deuterium tank that we need. Unduck. Clamp. Back. Okay, so that was a little odd. That little drift there. Anyway, let's head to... where do we want to head? I guess let's just head to one of these or something. Oh boy. Slow down. Select target. Nice. Let's start turning. And there we go. We should, yeah, we're clear. Just wanted to make sure that we were clear of any potential impact before I really start going forward. Alright, cool. We are really ripping through that RCS, aren't we? Okay, we're like 6 minutes out. Yeah, we should definitely not be going that fast. Oh, I was also gonna sleep. Oh well. Anyway, so while I don't necessarily think that AI art is inherently bad, like it could be used as an assist to create a more I guess yeah, it could be used as assistance the same way that like a paintbrush is used as an assistant to create a painting. But ultimately, you are deriving your art from the creations of other people. And now, of course, all art is a derivation of your influences, right? So everybody has certain influences that influence their artistic style, influence the way that they talk, influence like local authority ship scan activity detected. We should be good because we have a salvage license. Anyway, so like me, the way that I do these episodes and just kind of start talking about stuff, it definitely is like dependent on both the world around me and the influences on of the people that I've interacted with in this world. And I think, but it feels like when it comes to AI, almost entirely AI generated art, it feels like it's kind of going back to that idea of cat TV, right? Because AI can do some theory of mind, assuming it is fully intelligent, um, but I don't think it'll understand the human experience quite the same way that a human might, right? So, like, um, as until AI has a physical body, it probably won't understand, like, moving my hands. Even if after it does have a physical body, like you put AI in a robot, it'll probably have a different experience of the physical world, right? Because, for example, if I go to the gym and I work out super hard until, I'm about to collapse, and the next day I wake up super sore, ultimately that makes me stronger. Um, Maybe, not if I'm working out to collapse, but, within reasonable limits. You go to the gym, you get stronger through strain, but, like, if you have an AI body, unless the AI is put into a biological body that gets stronger through strain is damage, right? Like a Terminator type robot, if it gets strained, like, a bolt bends or something, that body part will just never work the same again. Like, it's not gonna get, like, you're not gonna make hydraulics stronger by stressing them over and over again. Although, I guess, like, you might work hard in the metallic parts, or, yeah, you might work hard in some parts. But even then, like, that's a trade-off between strength and brittleness. Anyway, so I think as a result of that, AI art is going to end up being not very artistically useful. It's not going to lead to the same level of emotional connection, the same level of information transfer, the same level of, I guess, experiential transfer even, right? Because it's not even, like, right now, when I talk about my ideas, that's a form of transmitting information, but, like, when you look at a painting, especially something that's, like, surrealist or, like, expressionist, like, something that's not very realistic, heck, even old masters, you know, like 15th century Botticelli and such, like, you're not getting an accurate depiction of reality, you're getting the artist's depiction of reality. And I mean, explicitly, or like, expressionism is based on the idea of you express what you feel as a result of seeing something, and you put that on a page. I guess Van Gogh was an expressionist, right? That's why it's not like photorealism. And I guess, like, you also are not going to get photorealism from old masters, because, I mean, they didn't even know what perspective was back then. Well, I'm sure they did, but you know what I mean. Switch to docking in the meantime. There we go. Yeah. And so, but at the same time, what AI is good at is generating large amounts of art quickly, curated for a specific taste, controlled by somebody else, right? So, it's a bit like a printer, almost. It's like, you know, those hotel paintings that are always, like, very generic, but, like, you can tell it's a hotel painting, the kind that shows up in a hotel room. And it usually, like, it looks nice, but it doesn't really have any depth to it. And I feel like AI art is generally going to end up looking like that. Which is kind of unfortunate. But, you know, it's also an effective method to, I guess, propagandize, right? Again, like, I think I mentioned that in the last episode, where you have a specific point of view that you want to move forward, and, like, AI is really good at that, right? I can generate the images that might cause a specific... No meat. Nice. A specific, response, right? And that might... Oh, wow, this is a massive ship, too. Hello. Yeah, this is going to be a multi-episode. Where are we going? No, don't go there. This is definitely going to be a multi-episode salvage. Anyway, so AI might be able to, you know, generate a specific type of image. Where are we? Where do we keep going? And why do we keep going there? And can I, like, cancel this task? Yes, there we go. In case that is where we are going. Wow. The middle of the ship is missing. Alright, well, got a messed up battery charger. Got a messed up turbo pump. Actually, it's not that messed up, just needs to be restored. Jeez, what happened here? Is this like space combat or something? Like, wow, this dude's got big chunks missing. Maybe a reactor detonation? Is that a thing that can happen? It's probably a thing that can happen. I couldn't imagine a nuclear reactor being added to a video game without the possibility of going full Hiroshima. Let's scrap this door. Oh, motor. I think we need some of those. So yeah, I think in general, it just doesn't really seem like AI is gonna be very oh, that's kind of a cool room. Very good way to do art, but obviously it does feel like the future because, again, it's a great way to control a narrative. I guess it would be the biggest thing that AI can do really well. Just because, like, you can do. Can't really. I need to move some. I need to put some stuff down. Ooh, what's in the sink? Inventory. And there is some water. Kinda should probably consider grabbing some of that. All right. Yeah, just because like you don't necessarily need art, or if you can data card. Interesting. Interesting. Wonder if I can. Nope, can't put that in my clip point either. Yeah. So I don't know if AI art is fully art. I guess to some extent it also, I mean, I might just have like some very old opinions on what art can be and, oh, I forgot to throw out that trash, should be. I might entirely just be wrong. I don't know. That's really up to you, you know. Like, I've provided you with some ideas, and whether you accept those ideas or not, that's really not up to me to decide, right? At this point, like, that part's up to you. If you think I'm speaking garbage, then guess what? That's a very valid interpretation of what I'm currently doing. Is it the interpretation that I would like you to take away from what I'm doing? No. I like to think that I'm not speaking garbage, but it is entirely possible that I am. Not sure why you're still watching this if you think I'm speaking garbage, to be fair. But, I mean, it's up to you as well, right? Maybe you're just sitting here making fun of me this entire time. In which case, I mean, hey, you know what? That's kind of what clowns do. They just provide entertainment by being laughed at. Do I want red coveralls? No, they're in terrible condition. Let's grab this PDA. I have a bunch of PDAs to deal with, don't I? Yeah, I really do. Okay. I have Timuwa coveralls. Left, right. Hey, you know what? These are in decent condition. Decent enough, and they're purple. Kind of want to grab them. I believe there was another one here. Left, right, 70, 80. I think I might keep those. Cargo pants, orange. Inventory, nothing. Hygiene packs, 8. Definitely need those. Yeah, they're not in great condition. Not in great condition. Honestly, these are in okay enough condition that I'm gonna grab them. Let's go put this stuff in the cargo pockets. Yeah. Carry them around. What's in this bin? Another PDA. Another suit. Some vodka. Looks like it's empty though. That was the coffee. Grab some coffee, why not? And then this bin had nothing interesting, yes. Okay, on the floor we have mystery meat. Don't want mystery meat. We got floor bins too. Let's go check those out. Nothing. Extinguisher. Environmental manual. Wait. These are 2x2 bins that take up one tile. And can fit an entire EVA suit. R.I.P. handgun. Okay. I don't think I need that. I think I might grab that though. It's worth selling at the very least. And I'm kind of tempted to grab some of these underfloor bins now because, wow, that is a lot of space. Oh, more hygiene packs. Nice. Poster says, Lucky says yield. What is that? Huh. Piloting within K-Leg airspace. Alright, I guess that makes sense. Kung Pao chicken, I feel like that's the one that we just grabbed, so let's grab some more. What is this? Another bin. Nice. Pills. Full of mechanical parts. Don't need that. Alright, what do we got over here? We got that sink. We got that, turbo pump. We got that, whatever else is out here. A lot of garbage, looks like. Primarily just tons and tons of garbage. Not too interesting. What else is out here? Literally nothing. I feel like we've gone through a similar ship design in the past at some point. Yeah, with a lot of light framework here. Some cargo nets. What's in here? Ooh, another rack. Let's check this rack. Azul, Holden patch, not that too useful. Turbo in decent shape. Rack. Another rack with bulkhead in it. Okay. That is, Okay. Got a battery, no charge. Nitrogen can. Not worried about that. Oh, reactor components. Grab those because they're valuable. Yeah. Even though it's just the one reactor component. These are all useless. Repair. Wow, we are really going far to grab some components, aren't we? Oh well. If it's what we need, it's what we need. Anyway. So I guess, like, as long as AI art does make you feel something, I guess you could still consider it to be art. Although, yeah, it's hard to say, because I guess what's the other point? Is art for the consumer, or is art for the producer? I think that really depends. Personally, I think art is primarily for the producer, right? Like, I don't know if you would necessarily consider this art, but I mean, if you've watched through 52 episodes of me rambling while I play this video game, well, I mean, the video game itself is art, I believe. I think art is I think video games are definitely an expression, a form of artistic expression. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Definitely to a pretty large extent, even though many people might not think that way, right? Like, there are definitely decisions being made here, like, with IoTimiwa being this kinda weirdly evil corporate entity which kind of controls the way that people can function in the world of Ostranauts, with like the whole the Kessler syndrome engulfing Earth. Like, that's definitely a commentary on society, right? I think it's a fairly, I don't know if it's necessarily intentional, but I interpret it as a commentary on something like climate change, right? Because like Kessler syndrome and climate change are very similar. They're both the result of short-sighted decisions, essentially, being made by people that probably shouldn't necessarily be making those decisions. But, you know, whatever. Just because someone is in the that's just kind of like one of those moments where you're not allowed to tell rich people how to spend their money. You're allowed to tell poor people how to spend their money, but not rich people. Rich people earned it. Poor people, it's okay to tell poor people how to spend their money. It's one of those weird little coinky-dinks of our society. Yeah. You can definitely, but I mean, that's just kind of a society that values money above all else that's gonna end up with those weird kind of coinky dinks. Where did my dolly go? Oh, I must have left it over here. Yeah, alright, well, I'm not gonna worry about it then. I don't have that much stuff to grab. Unless I want to grab all these turbos, which I probably do, actually. That's gonna be for next episode. I mean, for now, though, I think I'm gonna try to walk around everywhere that I haven't been yet. See what else we can find out here. Okay, that's a big empty room. That is what we found. Oh, there's the door. I feel like this door might have limited my ability to carry stuff directly from the reactor room. Yeah, reactor room's up there. What's in here? No, reactor room's in here. Which means what's up there? Ah, yes, this is the way up. And nothing else much out here, I don't think. A D2O tank! Restore! Restore, restore, restore. Oh, and it's loaded with 42 tons of deuterium! Dude. We've got everything we need now. That's insane. That is an insane grab. I don't know if this game is programmed to make life like some kind of like mercy thing where it's like, alright, you've spent so much time looking for a D2O tank without one, we're just gonna give you a D2O tank. But I like it. We got 42 kilos of liquid deuterium, which I have no idea why it's liquid. At 4 Kelvin, deuterium is definitely solid. Deuterium, I believe, freezes at like right around 4 degrees Celsius. Actually, it freezes a little bit higher than the freezing point of water because they increased molecular weight because it's got the 2 D's instead of the 2 H's, and each one of those D's has an extra proton. Nope, not proton, neutron, my bad. Which, higher molecular weight generally means higher freezing point and lower boiling point. No, higher boiling point. Yeah, higher freezing point, higher boiling point. Water is actually really weird, because like based on molecular weight, water should boil at like -60-ish, -50-ish Celsius, just because like similarly sized molecules boil at, you know, very low temperatures, right? Like nitrogen, it boils at like -100 and some Celsius, right? Nitrogen is 2 nitrogens, which are 14 each. That's 28 atomic units each. Whereas water's only 18. Deuterium's 20. Carbon dioxide boils at like, well, I guess carbon dioxide doesn't even do liquid at normal atmospheric pressure. But we're not at normal atmospheric pressure, right? Like, water doesn't do liquid at space pressure, I don't think. Haven't seen a phase diagram of water in a while, though, so I might be wrong. Another $5 value sign too. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so carbon dioxide goes from solid to gas at like -80 Celsius. So the fact that water's got like all this hydrogen bonding, which is why it, you know, boils at 100 Celsius and freezes at 0 Celsius, and that's why it's such a, you know, it's the solvent of life. It's the only, it's one of, I can't think of any other substance which has such a severely uncharacteristic, let's say, boiling and freezing point, due to such excessive hydrogen bonding. Yeah, water's kind of special that way. Fun fact. And it's probably the reason that life exists. Well, life as we know it. I don't know if we necessarily have a very universal view of life, right? I do think that there's some aspects of life that we just don't really consider at all. Like, we just think that's not how it goes. Like trees, for example. I mean, we recognize that trees are alive, but we don't really think of them as sentient, even though trees will preferentially give nutrients. Like, they will feed nutrients to other trees through their roots, and they'll preferentially feed nutrients to trees that are related to them. I think I was talking about this earlier at some point. If you ever walk around the woods, you'll see, on occasion, you'll see just like a standing trunk which has no leaves on it, and it might actually still be alive, being kept alive by the trees around it. It's like life support. Because they'll just, you know, use the root system to feed the nutrients that the standing trunk needs to live, even though it can't produce its own sugars because it has no leaves to photosynthesize with. Yeah, trees are wild. It's entirely possible that trees can talk. And we just, you know, if it takes a tree a week to say hello, then we're just not gonna be able to interact with a tree because no human has that level of patience, right? And I mean, trees definitely do talk in terms, like chemically speaking, right? Plants talk all the time. It's like a freshly mown lawn smell. You ever mow your lawn and get that like fresh mown grass smell? Yeah, that's basically just grass screaming in pain. Um, and it attracts wasps. And that's a defense mechanism, right? Well, I don't know if it's an intentional defense mechanism, or if it's one of those things where, like, two animals with conflicting theories of mind have figured out how to work together. But, like, normally, if a grass is making that fresh mown lawn smell, it's because it's being munched on by caterpillars, and wasps like to eat caterpillars. So, like, grass is like, hey, help me, wasp, eat these caterpillars. Except it's not a caterpillar, it's a lawnmower, and it's gas powered because we like to use the decomposed corpses of former forests and trees to power machinery to cut down modern day forests and trees. Isn't humanity grand? Anyway, let's pick that up and let's bring that back. Cannot reach that location. What do you mean can't reach? Let's try that one more time. And we got about 6 minutes left on the battery, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just install this, and I think end the episode there. Yeah, let's see here. Let's change out my batteries real quick. EVA battery. There we go. Battery 100%. Let's go this way. Let's get that D2O tank built up. We do have space for it, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we do, but at the same time... so if I put it here, I still have space to access the MHD in every direction. I should, if necessary, still be able to, because I'm pretty sure I need conduits on 3 corners, and I think this is one of the corners. I'll have to look more closely at that. Yeah, because I think this is power in, power out, so that's power in, power out, and this, something has to go there. That's something that I'm going to deal with next episode, though. For now, well, I could, if I move it out one, then I won't be able to easily put those 2 batteries in, because I won't have walking space. If I wanted to do 2 more batteries with room to walk around, or I could just put it in this corner. If I put it in this corner, I'll have space, and then maybe I'll be able to put... nah, I should put it in right there. Okay. You know what? If it really doesn't work out, we can always move it. For now, though, let's install that D2O tank. Yeah. So, I don't know. AI art. That's an interesting one. It's definitely feels like the future of I guess content creation, which again, like in retrospect, I don't know if I like that word very much, just because it feels too impersonal, right? Like it's content feels worse than like art. Content is... anything can be content, but art requires feeling. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna have to think about that some more. I might go on another rant related to those. Alright, so, I mean, our cryo tank is relatively empty compared to all that. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, do all those fun YouTube things, and, man, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do next episode, but we're going to do something. I'm going to come up with something. I have to think about that. For now, though, I mean, we just need to finish wiring the reactor. We've got all the components. We just need to run the conduits, and life will be grand, and we'll be able to finally make that burn to Venus. Although I might want to try to stop at Mars to check out that meat thing that we were looking at. What was it, Tharsis Landing? No, it wasn't Tharsis Landing. It might have been Tharsis Landing. I'll have to look it up. I do remember it being involving goats, which, interesting, you know, satanic implications. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, do all those fun YouTube things, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.